sent song from Stockholm. I think the variety came from a mixture of things. Mick writing more songs, and John still involved writing songs, and I even worked a little bit with John Levin on the track. Also myself, I wanted to push my limits for myself, and therefore I wrote songs like Brave and Beautiful Soul and Secret Society. I feel like those songs are pushing the limits, and I like doing that. So I think it's a combination of things. But I spoke to John Norm the other day, and we both agree. We think this could be the best Europe album ever. We think so, and
I think too.
We'll see what time will tell. But it's a very fun time for us because this album just came together. We were lucky. It could have taken years. You know what I mean? It could have been one of those things. It's not working, but it was just everything just fell into place. You know.
Okay. I've heard that Devil Sings the Blues lyrics have been inspired by the birth of Jake Thomas.
Yes.
So, tell me more about this, and how did you draw inspiration from that event?
Oh, I just remember that day because we were doing. I remember the day Jake was born. We were doing a TV show in Stockholm, and John was obviously very busy with that, but he managed to come over for 10 minutes to do a quick performance. And I just remembered he was talking about Jake and how fantastic it was, and I came up with this idea about a little bit like I think some other artists have done songs about birth of their friends in the band and stuff, and I always had the thought it would be nice to do that, and that moment came along, and I remembered it. So when I worked on Devil Sings the Blues, I remember that day, and I started to write that into the lyric. It's basically a happy song about celebration of life, really. It's like a beautiful thing.
And another song is a song which could be...
Sorry everyone.
It's a song that could be dedicated to all of us. For instance, I thought in a special way to the soldiers who risk every day their life in a war, for example. Was there a special meaning in your heart while you were writing this song?
Yeah, there was also there was some tragic things happening, not tragic, but sad things happening during the recording. The last few years, Ian's mother passed away, and Mick's father passed away as well in the last few years. And it was sort of a very strange time because you started thinking a lot about those things. And also I stayed with my parents when we recorded Secret Society. You start thinking about a lot of things, and therefore the reason for Mother's Son as well. There's a lot of reflections about these things.
And what's inspired you in writing the song The Getaway Plan?
That was a nightmare I had a long time ago.
A nightmare?
Yeah, I was visited in the night by a strange man in a hood. And it was just derived from that sort of experience.
Okay, cool to know it. Some web music stores report John Levin as co-writer in the song Always the Pretenders. Is that true?
Yeah, well, I've actually finished the song, but then we started rehearsing it for the recording. And we realized that one riff wasn't really good enough, and it sounded a bit too much like some other band. And so John said, maybe we can try this. And John played on the bass and said, yeah, that's good. So he actually helped me change the riff around. So that's how it came about.
Okay. And the title, Secret Society, comes up from a chat you had about a year ago with one of the rock gods of all time, Robert Plant.
Yeah.
What was the thread, and what's the meaning of such a title?
Well, the title's got a lot of meanings for us, I think, but the idea just came from that conversation, because I've talked to him before, I met him before and everything, and he was very kind to me, because I called up to a TV station. He was sitting in a TV show in Stockholm called Good Night Sweden, I don't know what it was called actually. Anyway, he was sitting in a TV show, and they called me up in London. So I was in London and he was in Sweden, which was kind of strange. Irony there. But they wanted us to talk because he was an old hero of mine, so they called me up. So I talked to him over the television. And we started talking, and he asked me what we were doing, and I said we tour, and we're going to go to America to do Start from the Dark. And we're back, you know, we're doing our stuff. And he said, that's great, you know, every band we should keep going, you know, all musicians should stick together and keep playing, you know. And it's almost like a secret bond, you know, it's like a bond we have. And that's when I came up with the idea of secret society. And I put it in my head and I remembered it. And I had this vision of everybody who loves music and who is a musician, and everybody, we live a bit on the side of society, you know, because we have our own sort of our own society and our own place where we feel at home. Whereas it's not so political, it's not so full of principles, it's more of a safe place for us that love music. So I had that idea about secret society. But then I wrote the lyric, and then I sort of confused myself because I wrote it really fast and I'm not really sure what I'm singing about. But I think it's about a young boy singing that lyric, a really young boy who's ready to do anything. So, and also musically, I think it's a tribute a little bit to bands like Led Zeppelin and stuff.
Okay. And in Love Is Not the Enemy, there's a part of the lyric that says, "We headed for Venus." That reminds immediately the Final Countdown lyrics. Is that on purpose or just a case?
It was the last few things. It was one of the last songs I sang on in the studio, and Mick was there when he was in the studio. I just put that in the last minute, and I thought that would be great. Because we come back now, you know, we're back. We're doing basic rock albums. We're just doing what we did before the Final Countdown. We're doing something we love, and it's very straightforward, and we're back on Earth basically. Because when the Final Countdown, we left for our heads went in the clouds for a while, and I felt that song was just. The song is about falling in love with the world again, falling in love with being here, alive, just walking this earth, you know. So I thought it was a nice line to have. We headed for Venus once, you know, but there was no sign of life. So this is where the life is. This is where it's at. So that's what's the idea behind it.
Okay. And according to what I know, you had like 15, 16 songs ready to be recorded. How did you choose the 11 tracks appearing in the album, and which is the line you all followed to come to an agreement?
Yeah, it may have been 17 or 18 demos or something. Everybody, we sent a CD around to everyone to listen to the demos we had. I think it was 17 or something, I'm not sure, maybe. And everybody sort of said, we like these 11 tracks. And it was easy to agree, actually. Because we seem to think alike, you know, we seem to have the same taste. Even when, we can talk about that later, even when choosing the cover, everybody, we had 10 covers to choose from, we picked the same one, everybody picked the same one. So we seem to think the same way. So when we went into the studio, we rehearsed 11 songs all week. And we rehearsed them very hard, because we wanted to concentrate on those songs.
I heard that the new album we will find in the stores will have a new final mix. Which is the difference with the mixing of the advanced comment?
No, it's the same mix, but we just altered a little small thing in the mastering. Just added some more warmth and bottom end to it, just a little bit. Most people won't hear it. We hear it.
Will it sound
It sounds no, it sounds the same basically. Maybe a little bit warmer in the low frequencies. Yeah, and the running order would be different.
Totally different.
Not totally different. Love Is Not the Enemy and Getaway Plan switch place.
Ah, okay.
So Getaway is number 3 and Love is number 7. Yeah, that's it.